Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we'll be taking a look at the actually rather good SteelSeries Arctis 1 PlayStation Edition. Keep watching to find out more. Okay, so in today's video we'll be taking a look at the SteelSeries Arctis 1 headset, which is, well, they kind of say it's for PlayStation, so it has come in the PlayStation blue colours. Now I should first of all point out this has been sent to us for review by Ugly Bob. Thank you very much, Ugly Bob. And I should also thank SteelSeries as well for making a headset which actually comes in Mike's Unboxing Blue. That is a very nice touch. We like that a lot. Thank you. It is appreciated and it goes really well with the theme. But that aside, are they actually any good? And straight away, if you don't want to watch the whole video, yes, they are. They're fantastic. Genuinely, this is the first time I've actually used anything from SteelSeries as far as I'm aware. Possibly a mouse randomly some time many years ago, but this is actually the first time I've experienced SteelSeries, and I've got to be honest, I'm pretty blown away. When you consider the price of these things, normal retail price, somewhere in the region of about £40 to £50, depending where you're shopping. At the moment, and it seems actually quite often, these seem to be reduced to 50% off on Amazon.co.uk and other Amazons around the world. So you can pick these up for as little as 25 quid here in the UK, which I think is absolutely insane value for money. So obviously take that as it is. At £40 to £50, yes, they're good. At £25, they are unbeatable in my opinion. Anyway, with all that gushing out of the way, let's go through the unboxing experience, see what they're all about, and we'll also do some demonstrations later on so you can hear what the microphone is like. This is actually one of the other key things of this. Generally, when you buy a headset, which is pretty good in terms of audio quality, sometimes the microphone absolutely sucks, but this is actually pretty decent. So back to the packaging. So as you can see, SteelSeries Arctis 1. This is the PlayStation edition, so PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. Now don't get misled by that. It is basically a gimmick. Essentially they are color-coded blue. If you get the Xbox version, they're color-coded green. If you buy the PC version, they're basically color-coded white. It is ridiculous. I don't honestly see that there's any real difference. Possibly the actual mic jack on the Xbox One might be slightly different to go in the Xbox controller. Maybe there's some circuitry in there which makes it suddenly come to life when you plug it into that controller. But here at Mike's Unboxing, we're mostly PC centric, so we're taking this as being plugged into a PC. Now, of course, if you want to, you can also plug it into other devices which support the 3.5mm jack with the TRRS type pole. So this is going to be things like, obviously, mobile phones, Nintendo Switch, those kinds of devices. You will, however, if you want to plug it into some PCs and some devices, you will need a pole splitter. That sounds bad, but it isn't as bad as you think. This basically converts a TRRS signal into two TRS signals, one for the earphone and one for the microphone. Basically, a headphone splitter. But we'll link those in the video description as well. So other key features on there, so it says it has a detachable microphone. So if you actually want to take these out and about, listening to your mobile phone, or basically wherever you are, but you don't want to look like a bit of a weirdo with a boom mic walking around the streets, then you can detach that. That is awesome. And obviously if it gets broken or something, then you can obviously replace it. That's very handy. You've got on headset controls, which is also always a good thing. I'm not always keen on them being actually on the cable. Sometimes you can find that with it kind of is in the wrong place, or it's slightly weighted wrong, so it kind of drops to one side or the other. Whereas if it's actually on the headset, it's great. You just put your hand up, do your adjustments, you're good to go. Also, you've got a steel reinforced headband, which being it's made by SteelSeries, yes, it makes sense that they're using steel in the production. Not sure whether that's actually meant to be a kind of play on words, but it certainly does work. And I've got to say, actually, the headband itself is ridiculously sturdy and strong, but we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Also, we've got this thing, all platform wired gaming headset. So yeah, even though it says for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, directly at the bottom, it says the absolute opposite. So it's for all platforms. Anyway, but one of the key things, which is actually a really bold statement, it says here, feels and sounds more expensive than it is. And that is what the people over at Wired said. I've got to be honest with you, I disagree. Not with all of it. I don't think they feel expensive. They do feel rather plasticky. But in terms of sound quality, yeah, they absolutely knock it out the park. On the side, it goes through some of the specifications. So it is a single cable, which is captive. You can't replace it. So if you damage it, you're going to be looking at spending another 25 to 50 quid. You've got the specs there, so you've got your usual kind of frequency response between 20 and 20,000 hertz, 32 ohms, so they're actually pretty easy to drive. Although actually, if you do want to drive them and actually get the absolute best out of them, I would most definitely recommend getting yourself one of these little mini DACs from Sharkoon. I use this now with all my testing just to see. Obviously, some headsets, when you plug them into a PC, there's not quite the output you'd like from your onboard sound, that sort of stuff. So by running it through a DAC, I can experience what they sound like at their absolute peak. And yeah, they are absolutely stunning, but definitely worth investing in one of those DACs. On the other side of the box, it says about all the awards they won. Yeah, okay, whatever, don't really care. Let's move on to the actual headset itself. Now, first thing you notice when you pull them out of the box is they're actually pretty lightweight. There's not really a lot of weight to them. And I'll be honest, they do feel very cheap and plasticky. But something which isn't cheap and plasticky is the headband. The headband is ridiculously rigid. I've been used to testing quite a few headphones recently, and a lot of them have been kind of really slack, but this appears to have a really exceptional clamping force, but only at a certain point. So it's quite wide as standard as you get out of the box. And when you put it on your head, they do feel extremely comfortable, like ridiculously comfortable. They are very lightweight as well, but they've got some really nice sponge on the top, and the padded ears are excellent. They really are. These I like a lot. So these are removable and washable, so if you want to, if you're getting all sweaty and stuff, you can rip these off, chuck them in the washing machine or under the tap or something, let them dry naturally, and they'll be absolutely fine. As you can see, color coded for PlayStation 4 and 5 for blue, or Mike's Unboxing, depending on your preference there. But yeah, they are removable, very nice. They're actually weird because they are foam with a kind of microfiber or almost like a velour type feel to it, rather than your usual kind of PV or fake leather, leatherette, etc, etc. So they don't get sweaty, very comfortable. They do conform to your head size very nicely. Obviously they are over ear as well, so your ear fits in there quite nicely. And they've done it in an oval way, so obviously people's ears are oval. Almost triangular in some cases if you're Vulcan, but for most people, yeah, they're elongated. So having round pads is often a little bit weird, and you've got kind of gaps front and back. Whereas these being oval, they do seem to fit over your ear very nicely indeed. But something which is also unusual, because they are foam, you'd expect them to have a lot of noise leakage. Now, I've been testing these today, and I asked Kath if she could hear it, and she said no, couldn't hear it. So that is actually a very good thing, because obviously sound leakage is not often a great thing, and if you're buying these for playing games or for watching certain types of adult entertainment, the last thing you want is sound leakage from your headset. That's generally a bad thing. Also with the headset, again, really nice clamping force. You've got adjustment as well, so not only have you got a kind of 90-degree rotation actually there, so you can, if you want to, when you're not using them, you can fold them flat, or if you've got it on your head, you can just have it on your shoulders like that, which is actually pretty cool. So if you want to stop gaming for a little bit and have something to eat, you certainly can do. And then just put them back on, flip them back out, you're good to go. You've also got a bit of adjustment in the vertical as well. Nice bit there. And also, obviously, as with most headsets, you've got a little bit of adjustment on the band as well. And it does have very small incremental clicks as well, which they do seem to actually hold in place as well. So if you set it, you can set it and forget it, as they say. So yeah, really nice. Doesn't say left or right on each one, but it's kind of obvious in my opinion. But for those that are wondering, it does say L and R actually on the inner band itself. Then moving down to the side cups, so you've got this nice flat section. This is cheap and cheerful, it really is. It marks very easily. You might see from some of the B-roll there is a scratch on there already. I don't know how I managed to do that. I have dropped them, to be fair. When I was just about to do the recording of the microphone test, I dropped them from about 6 foot height onto a hard floor, and yeah, it sounded awful. So yeah, Kath was cringing. It wasn't good, and it was literally just before I'd done some testing, so thankfully they still worked and they did survive the fall. So they're pretty robust, but the plastic is a little bit on the cheap side. It does show lots of marks and scratches, fingerprints. It's that kind of plastic, but ultimately it's down to comfort and what they sound like, which is the important thing. And I suppose also the all important, how easy it is to use. And these are really easy. So you've got a volume control there, plus and minus on a nice roller. So that's pretty good. There's no click or indent to the roller, which I kind of would have liked. So you're kind of guessing. So I generally leave them on the full blast, adjust the volume in Windows. That works well for me. You've also got a mic mute switch as well. There isn't any kind of audible feedback actually in the headset, so if it's kind of off or on, you don't really know unless someone at the other end of your call says you're muted, in which case you'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll switch it on. The switch is actually quite hard to do as well, so it does take a definite thing, so it's not going to be like you accidentally take them off your head and you're going to accidentally slide that off. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Like that a lot. The microphone itself is awesome. It's on a boom. There's no cover, no pop shield or anything. It doesn't appear to need it. I did a sound test and I'm not the best with my plosives and that, and didn't pick up any as far as I could tell, but you'll hear that a little bit later. If you want to, you can just disconnect that, so that pulls out. You can see standard kind of jack on there, little recess in there. Potentially you could use another mic if you lost it or damaged it or whatever, but I don't think you'll want to because it does work pretty well. So again, if you want to use them without the microphone, just out and about, they actually look pretty decent. So you can walk around the streets. You probably wouldn't get people taking the mickey out of you for wearing huge cans on your head wearing these, I don't think. Although, I don't know, some people are pretty unkind. Anyway, so that is that part of it. Headphones, yes, no complaints there. The plastic is a little bit on the cheap side, but other than that, they look pretty muted and you could get away with using them outdoors should you want to. Down to the cable, so you've got 1.8 meters of cable, nothing special here, just a generic cable. You have got that 4-pole on the end there, 3.5mm jack, so that's TRRS. So again, if you want to adapt this for a separate earphone and microphone for modern PCs, then you'd have to buy a splitter. Again, I'll link one of those in the video description for you. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap up my experience so far and the unboxing. Let's take a listen to the microphone and you can hear what it actually sounds like. Okay, so this is an audio test of the SteelSeries Arctis 1, all platform compatibility. This is specifically the PlayStation 4 version, although from what I can tell and from what I've probably already said in the earlier parts of this review, I don't see any reason why you can't use this with your PC, your Xbox, your Switch, or whatever unit you're using which takes a 3.5mm jack. Obviously you may need an adapter, but this is a sound test. This is currently running with the Realtek audio on my PC, and if we actually go into the control panel here, and as you can see at the moment the main volume is set to maximum, as I generally have. Microphone boost is the default position, and we haven't turned on echo cancellation or noise suppression. So let's go ahead now and turn on noise suppression, and hopefully you can hear immediately the difference in the quality of the audio. I did have a very quick listen to this before for some pre-recorded footage, and it does appear to make a massive amount of difference. I haven't moved, I'm still stood next to my PC, which the fans are approximately, well, less than a foot away from me. There's also the fire in the background clicking away as it's burning wood, and we've got other things in here. Calf's computers in here, all that kind of stuff. So if I'm completely silent, this is now with noise suppression turned off, you should be able to hear background noises. So I'll be quiet now for 1, 2, 3, and back in the room. So this is now going to be exactly the same test with noise suppression activated. So yeah, I think you'll find, I've already listened to some of this back, that should have been an absolute night and day experience. Of course, this microphone is actually Discord certified, as is the headset, so if you're using it for voice comms in your games, then you can have an absolutely great time. Acoustic echo cancellation is more of a software thing, which is more related to the actual sound card rather than this piece of hardware, so I'm not going to bother testing that, but I thought noise suppression would be a good thing to do because it does have that built in. And actually I think the noise suppression, even in its default mode, just with it running straight off the bat with the 3.5mm jack plugged in, I still think it sounds absolutely excellent. And for the mental price at the moment, the 50% off, bringing these down to $24.99 here in the UK, is absolutely fantastic. And a quick shout out again to Ugly Bob for sending these over to us for review. Anyway, back to the review. Okay, and we're back. So it sounds pretty good, as I think you'll agree. I don't really think you need the software noise cancelling built in. I think it actually sounds great as it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I think for the money, they've done a fantastic job. And at this point now is when we talk about the actual audio quality. Now, the audio quality, as far as I'm concerned, for £50, is still off the hook. And I would say, in terms of the kind of way they've set up the drivers and the kind of whole tonal experience, it would be what I would consider to be lively, if that is even a thing. So you've got plenty of mid-range, you've got plenty of treble, you've got a nice bit of deep bass. It just feels really active and alive. You don't have to drive it particularly hard to get a really nice sound out of them. When it comes to positional audio, I was listening to some 360-degree audio tracks, and you can quite easily track the sound going around your head at all the angles. Yes, the separation there is absolutely excellent. They're very easy to drive. They sound even better with the DAC. I would strongly suggest, if you're going to be using these for movies, gaming and all sorts, definitely invest in the DAC. It makes a massive difference. You don't have to, but it certainly will amplify the signal a little bit more and just give you that little bit more clarity and a little bit more awareness of what is going on. I've been listening to the Mub headphone soundtrack test, which I'll put in the video description as well, so you can check out what I've been listening to. And yeah, it's great. And actually, I found myself listening to some of the tracks a little bit longer than I would with some other headsets. Now, I'm not sure whether that's just because I was being lazy, or maybe it's because they sounded really good and I was listening out for the details. But certainly all the details are there. It's very kind of, yeah, lively is all I can say really. It's kind of, everything is there. You can hear little sparkles in the mid-range and treble. Audio stuff is great, listening to spoken voice. Spoken voice might be a little bit duller than the rest, possibly. But again, it depends what sort of music you're listening to. But in terms of gameplay, playing something like Fortnite, any sort of positional game, you can hear footsteps wherever they are. It just, yeah, it's almost scary how good they are for a 2-channel headset. They basically feel like a 7.1 surround sound. They really do in terms of positional audio. They do that fantastically well. So overall, for music, yeah, no worries there. Nice and lively, punchy sound. For games, positional audio, absolutely great. Spoken word, you might want to tailor your EQ slightly just to give it a very, very slight boost in that mid-range. But other than that, yeah, they are absolutely freaking awesome. So once again, massive shout out and thanks to Ugly Bob for sending these over to us for review purposes. Honest opinion, it ran about 40 to 50 quid. There's others on the market which you might want to take a look at, and certainly other options which maybe are wireless, which might give some people a bit of an advantage. At that point it gets a little bit kind of, yes, there are other options. But for the kind of reduced price, or if there's a Black Friday deal going on, any kind of promotional sales, if they're under £30, wholeheartedly snap them up, grab them while you can, because yeah, they're definitely a very, very good headset for the money. Anyway, I've waffled on for way too long. Let me know what you think about these in the comment section below. Something I haven't touched on is actually the longevity. I'm not sure if SteelSeries as a brand have any issues with longevity or that sort of stuff. Like I said, the plastics do feel a little bit on the cheap side, but they do feel strong. So not too sure how that's going to go, but maybe check in on this video in a few months' time and we'll see how things are going. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.